Hey guys, thank you so much for coming. Welcome back to my channel. This is justreaddvi and I am back with another video. Welcome, welcome, welcome. To my new watchers, keep watching. And to my new watchers, keep watching. Be sure to hit the like button, subscribe, and leave a comment. This video, this review, you guys, it's a lot. To my Just Readers that are back, thank you guys so much. I appreciate you guys each and every time. Be sure to hit the like button and comment below your thoughts, because I'm guessing if you're a Just Reader, that means you're subscribed. So be sure to do that. Today's video is going to be about Sister Souljah's new book, you guys, Life After Death. Oh my gosh, you guys. So, oh boy. So yes, so this book I listened to on Audible because I pre-ordered it, but I listened on Audible because I was faster, and I just did my review on The Coldest Winter Ever. If you haven't, be sure to go and check that video out now. I did that review. It was good, so be sure to check it out and let me know your thoughts. So I read that book right before, because I knew it was coming out the 2nd. So I read that book right before this launched on Audible because I wanted to be clear. I wanted my memory to be ready for this book. I was like, man, she got part 2. Wow, I can't wait. Everybody was hyped. Everybody was so hyped about this book. I was hyped also because I wanted to know what she was going to do with Winter. So yeah, I just pull it up so that you guys could, so I could still have it on the screen. But I wanted to know what she was going to do with Winter. She wrote about Midnight. He got his own little series, and then Portia got her own book also. So I was like, what is she going to do with Winter? How did The Coldest Winter even finish? So I went back and I read that book, and yeah, so here I am. I just finished this book, just finished it. And here is my review. You guys, this book, oof, oh my gosh, this book was a whirlwind. It was everywhere, and sad to say, it was not in a good way. This book was a horrible book. If you can't tell by the title, this book was a horrible book. Oh my goodness. Yeah, let's get into the review. So my little summary for it, because for the whole book, pretty much I was just so disappointed. I was confused, lost, everything you could think of in a negative manner. That was me. I was struggling so hard, like my pressure was so high because this book was just so boring, annoying, not what it needed to be, underdeveloped, poorly developed. Everything, like I said, that you could think of in a poor manner, that's what this book was, unfortunately. I'm so sorry. It was a big, big, big disappointment to me. Let me see my little points. It was just over. It was tasteless. It was over. It was over sexual, disrespectful towards Christianity. It was disrespectful towards Christianity. It was misguiding towards Islam religion. I just didn't know where she was trying to go with this whole winter redemption thing. It just started wrong and it just went off. She killed Winter at the beginning of the book, At the beginning of the book, she killed her. Or make it seem like she killed her. That was just the dumbest thing, I feel. I can tell you my thoughts as far as how I feel the book should have gone, but just keep watching. So, yeah, so I couldn't tell at first where the book was really going, what direction she had for the book, because it was just so off. She killed her. I was hoping she was in a coma because I thought that was stupid, especially how she started it. She started it kind of cool with the whole reality series, TV series thing. I was like, okay, so she just in a coma. This isn't gonna think. The whole book continued under the guise of her just being dead. The whole book. Literally to the end, to the very end in chapter 34, 38, 37 chapters really. Because 38 on Audible, the last chapter on Audible, usually they just be like the credits. That's it. So it's really 37 chapters. So 34 is when you really start this whole join in on the books. This felt like a standalone book. She just didn't join the two. I don't know if she read The Coldest Winter Ever like everybody else. Should I reread it to be ready for the part 2? But it didn't feel like it. It was just off. I just didn't enjoy it like at all. The end was it for me, and that's really sad. I was struggling. It was like 10 plus hours of just listening to this nonsense. It was garbage. Oh my gosh. It was hard, needless to say. Like I said, my pressure was just so high because I was just so angry. Because I was like, where is this going? Where is this going? Anyways, my likes and dislikes. I like the reality TV idea, as I mentioned. I thought that was cool. I also like the redemption walk that she was on, even though that was a mess. It was a mess to say the least. And I also liked how she spoke differently after she repented. I like how she spoke highly of Portia and Portia's marriage. I really enjoyed that. I thought that was really sweet because it was the shift of the change in her attitude. So I really appreciated that, because at the beginning she had such a negative attitude towards Portia, but in the end you see how she was speaking highly of Portia's marriage and her husband, and their chemistry and how they love each other and treat each other. So I appreciated that. I thought that was very nice. So that was something I liked. And just how she was with her sister, she cared. You could see she genuinely cared for her, which is a change for Winter, because if you read The Coldest Winter Ever, she was very selfish. She didn't care about anybody other than herself and pretty much her father, so that was pretty much it. She just, yeah. So now onto my dislikes. Nia Long, I love you dearly. I love you so much as an actress. I do. But this book was not for you. Sister Souljah, if you're watching this, I'm sorry, but you had such a big opportunity, a big job to do with this book, and you just dropped the ball completely. Nia Long should not, in my opinion, let me say my opinion, I don't know if you guys are going to agree, but in my opinion, Nia Long should not have been the person to do the reading of this book on Audible. You released it on Audible first before it was any place else, I think, because that's all I could see access to it. On Amazon or any place else, it was just pre-order. So you release it on Audible, so most people that aren't going to get it, especially with the shipping during now, depending on where you are, it's a hassle. So most people bought it on Audible. I know I did. I was really excited. I thought that for some reason, my friend sent it to me, my best friend sent it to me, that Nia Long were going to be reading the book, but I thought I saw Taraji. Taraji is the person that I felt would have been suited for doing the reading of this book. She's harder. She's Cookie from Empire, if you guys watch Empire. She's hard, she's rough, she could be ghetto. She's Winter. Winter is her. So it just wasn't good. Nia Long vibe was just too soft. She wasn't hard. She was trying to be hard at times, which wasn't cool. And then she wasn't New York enough. So I didn't enjoy that from the beginning. A little pet peeve of mine, this might sound silly, but I just hated the way she was saying Santiago name. It was just so annoying. It was like over sexual, or just too like Santiago, like too, it was weird. It was so weird. So I didn't like that. That was a dislike for me. Let me know in the comments if you agree. If you've read this book, well, mostly listen, because your thought process is going to be going through when you listening to it different from when you're reading it, because you're hearing somebody now. So now you have somebody voice attached to it, that imagery going to shift now, because it would have been different if you were just reading the words and hearing a voice of in your own mind. Like now you have a voice that you're hearing versus something that you attaching to it on your own, to your own little imagination. When you're reading, I picture, I hear, I feel everything. It's just amazing. So with having Nia Long's voice attached to something, it changed the way I was feeling about it also. It was just a poor decision. Do I feel she should have been kicked off fully off the book? No, I feel like she could have played different characters that were in the book, but I feel like her being Winter was a poor decision for sure. Also, my dislikes were the pace, the storyline, the disrespectful comments about Christians. I just didn't appreciate that. The stuff with the nuns, her crossing over and not knowing where she was. I just thought that was the weirdest thing. Her having sex with the devil, her having sex with the devil's son. It was just everywhere, you guys. Like, this book was everywhere except where it needed to be as a part 2 of The Coolest Winter Ever. It just wasn't that. The misguiding stuff, I said that already. The misguiding comments about 2 words, Islam religion, that just wasn't cool either. That's also something I just didn't like. It didn't sit good with me. She went through that part, the over sexualization stuff. I'm not gonna get into that because it was tasteless. It really was. She was in that part of the book for the entire book. It had the beginning with her getting shoot when she came out of prison, and her doing a crossover into this dark side or side of question. And then I'm finding out who killed her because someone killed her, which is another thing I feel she could have saved. I feel like if that were going to happen, that could have happened to the end, or just even us knowing that she was in a coma. The entire book, you pretending like she in a coma, but I hoping she in a coma, because to me, that's the only way you could kind of save this book, because it was just so bad. And then you doing it like as a form of surprise appeal towards the end of the book was just dumb and lame. It was so dumb. Like, it was dumb. My favorite / least favorite part of the book. My favorite part was when Winter saw Santiago. When she came out of the coma, yes, you finally had admitted, after we went through a whole nother series of stuff too, you admitted that she was in a coma. When she ran to him, I screamed out, you guys. I was so excited because now I have a link to The Coolest Winter Ever. A real link. Like, throughout the book, there were little stuff where she talked about her memory of her dad, her memory of her mom, but then you do all of this craziness and have these other people in the book that we know nothing about, just this whole dark side, or the UBS, which is Unborn Souls. I appreciated the fact that kids that were aborted were able to speak, and she met her twins. She had twins. If you read The Coolest Winter Ever, you know that she aborted her baby. We just know it as just a baby. She was pregnant and she went and she got a baby aborted. We didn't know it was twins. We didn't know much of that. Apparently it was twins. She aborted. So they had a little thing in there too with the UBS, and I kind of understood it. I kind of appreciated it. But once again, it was just kind of left field because it's taking you further away from the other characters that were in the book, because we follow in this whole wherever she is thing. She had sex with the devil, she turned into a snake, then a dog, and it was like, what are we doing? Where is this going? So yeah, oh my gosh, I just feel depleted because I just finished and it was just bad. It was bad. Yes, I also, another favorite part of mine was when she was repenting for her sins. I appreciated that because I was like, okay, finally something good coming out of this whole redemption walk, because she was still cussing and talking crazy and just doing crazy stuff still. So I was like, okay, is she repenting? That's good. That was goodish, because once again, the whole religious aspect of stuff was very weird, and I didn't really grasp where she was going with it, because it had so much other elements that was so crazy and disrespectful and misguiding being thrown in the mix. It was just no bueno. My least favorite part was when she was screaming at God and saying disrespectful comments. So you repent and then you screaming at God and saying disrespectful comments. Weird. And then she woke up, but it wasn't said that she woke up, but that's when she came to, and she was where she was back in real life. Once again, poorly executed, explained, and developed. Yes, so I've never done a funny scene, but I thought this scene was so funny. Her being on the Angie Martinez radio show, and Bullet being somebody to call in. So Bullet called in, this guy called in, and he was like, marry me. And I thought it was so funny because she was like, I knew who the voice was, but I couldn't really be sure. But I know it's Bullet. Who else can call in and say that, right? But it was just so funny because now once again we have the link. And then Bullet, you ran when she was arrested, you know, because the drugs, at the end of the book, at the end of the coolest winter, there were drugs, guns in the car, and then someone had sliced her face, and the police came, and that was a whole thing, and Bullet just flee. He just leave at it. So with him leaving her, she went to jail. He never looked back, never put no money in her books, never get a lawyer for her, never call her, never do nothing. So for him to call in a radio station and say, when he said, he's like, marry me, it was just so funny. And then he's like, he downstairs, and it was just so funny because, dude, where you was? You leave me when I was with you, walking with you. So I just thought that was so funny. Is this book timeless? Also, I had to really appreciate that with Bullet because it was once again a link to the previous book, The Coolest Winter Ever, which I really appreciated because I couldn't see where stuff was going, when it would get better, when I would feel like this book was a part 2. I just couldn't see it. Is this book timeless? No, but it's a mess. That's my answer. That's my final answer. Can everyone read this book? No, once again. If you have high blood pressure and stress issues, stay away from this book, especially if you were really excited about it and you read The Coolest Winter Ever. Well, if you read The Coolest Winter Ever, you want to read the part 2, which was like a standalone book. It was just pressure, okay? Pressure, so no. Would I recommend? No. You get a thumbs down from me, man. Just read stars. I struggle with a rating of this book because I was like, this is 0 stars. I sure, because I don't reach to chapter 30, pushing forward, and I still ain't seen where the link gonna happen and how this is all relatable and making sense. So I was like, it's 0 stars. But to the end, I kind of get softened up because I was so excited with Santiago and then with Bullet, and then her newfound change with her saying like she want a man that gonna respect her, and she really was changing. So I was impressed. But what was crazy is the end. You feel like, oh my gosh, this the end? This can't be the end. Like, it gonna have more, because that's when I feel like the book really started for me. So I was like, no, you do this to the end of the book, and that was my biggest fear from the beginning. I was like, oh my gosh, don't tell me this woman will have this girl in a coma, wake up to the very end of the book, and then try to mesh everything together at the very end of the book. My God, that's exactly what she do. And it just was bad. As you could tell, if you read any book and it will mesh together towards the end of the book to try to fit the other book, to try to bring together all the ideals and stuff you were doing in this book that were crazy and after a while and just wasn't good, imagine how that feel. It was so stressful and hard to get through. Like, I was like struggling, guys. You guys, be sure to like this video. Share this video if you feel people need to see it. Definitely comment your thoughts below if you read this book, because I know I'm the only one. I stayed clear of any other reviews or any interviews of anybody speaking about this book, specifically Sister Souljah, because I wanted to read this book with a clear mind, thought process. I wanted to just be in this book. I didn't want nothing to deter me or to make me feel a certain way about it. I just wanted to read it for myself. And I have the hard copy coming, which I'm excited about. Well, was more excited about before I read it, because I was going to have the hard copy. But it was just poor. It was poor. It was just underdeveloped and poor. So my ratings for the book, my stars, I would rate this book. I was going to give it 0, like I said. But the end, she catch me with the end because I enjoyed that part. So to say I didn't enjoy anything, at least the end made me feel a little good. Just a little bit. I give this book 1.5 stars. Yeah. So thank you guys for watching. Be sure to hit the like button. Be sure to comment. Let me know your thoughts. I was so lost. I wanted to talk to somebody that was reading the book so bad, but nobody wasn't reading it that I knew at the time. So here I am with my honest and bare review. I hope you guys enjoy. Yes, Sister Souljah, if you're watching, I just so disappointed. I expected so much more from you, and I'm sure that people feel this way. So let me know what you guys think. Thank you guys so much for watching.